Good Wednesday morning. I have a question for you this morning. What comes to your mind when you hear the words of Jesus from Mark 12:31 when he says, "Love your neighbor as yourself"? Sometimes it's easy to confine Jesus' words to loving our neighbor as ourself in the big, grandiose, extraordinary ways when we really do something big for somebody. But I wonder if Jesus was talking about also loving our neighbor as ourselves in the ordinary ways. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Jesus was actually focusing more on the fact that we're to love our neighbor as ourselves in the routine, daily ways that we interact with other people. Well, a couple of days ago, I saw something that was really pretty cool. And I was in one of our local stores, and there was a little boy of probably only about 5 or 6 years old, and he had a bag of potato chips in his hand. And I noticed him walking back and forth in front of all the potato chips. And I thought that he was looking for another bag of potato chips to get, like picking out another flavor. But finally, he stopped in front of the bags of chips that were just like the one in his hand, and he put the bag of chips back on the shelf in the proper place. And that really impressed me, especially for a little boy of that age. So I figured that probably somebody told him to put the chips back. And sure enough, his dad came down the aisle. So I got talking to him and I asked him if that was his son, and he said yes. And so I told him that he should be proud of his son for doing the right thing, because it would have been so easy to just take the chips and throw them on a shelf someplace in the store. But yet he took the time to put them back where they belong. And he was really looking for the exact place where those chips belonged. And so I told the dad that his son did a really good job. He was a good boy in doing that. And the dad thanked me and appreciated that. Well, I can't say for sure that the little boy did that as an intentional act of loving his neighbor as himself, because he was only 5 or 6. But it was a reminder for me, and it's a reminder for us, that we can, in ordinary everyday things, love our neighbor as ourselves. Because to love our neighbors means to want the very best for them. And, you know, if that boy had put that bag of chips somewhere else in the store, then an employee would have had to at some point take that bag of chips and put it where it goes. And my suspicion is that employees have to do that a lot of times in the stores. And so that's just one little way we can love our neighbor as ourselves. But it got me to thinking about doing the right thing on a daily basis. And you know, that's what it says in Proverbs 21:3. It says to do what is right and just is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice. And in Matthew chapter 7, verse 12, it says this. Jesus is speaking and he says, "In everything, do what you would have others do to you. Do to others what you would have others do to you." But notice Jesus said, in everything, do to others what you would have them do to you. Not just in the big, not just in the grandiose, not just when it's convenient, but in everything, including putting a bag of chips back on the shelf where it belongs. So it's just a reminder for us today from God's Word that we can and should and must take the time to do the right thing in all things, because it really does matter. It matters to the Lord, but it also makes a difference in the lives of other people, such as the employee that didn't have to pick a bag of chips up someplace and put it back across the store where it belonged with the other chips. Didn't need to do that because of the thoughtfulness of a little boy. So this is Pastor George praying that God's Word makes a great difference in your life today. And perhaps finally it's a reminder for us that Jesus says we're to have the faith of a child and believe him with that childlike faith to enter the kingdom of heaven. So may his word encourage you today. Have a great and a blessed day, and God bless you.